the South China Sea, Prime Minister, what do you think is the best response? I've heard you made a lot of statements like demilitarization. Are you calling, for instance, for the U.S. to stop freedom of navigation operations? Or some people are saying, including myself, that why not us ASEAN claimant states among ourselves maybe negotiate our own code of conduct, because it seems our code of conduct negotiations with China have been going on for quite some time. What do you think is the best way to move forward? What should great powers do? What should we smaller powers do?
Well, ASEAN is a group of weak countries, very weak by comparison to the great powers. Our negotiation must take into consideration that we are not able to enforce. So we have to use diplomacy, and having a common stand is very good. But the way we do things should not be based on threats. We don't like to see battleships stationed in South China Sea.
Of any country?
Of any country, yes. And the South China Sea should remain free to navigation for all kinds of ships, but the naval vessels and all that should not be stationed here, because that makes it provocative.
Prime Minister, should we be worried with the militarization of the disputes, deployment of advanced military assets to these artificial islands? Are these things we should be worried about?
Well, I am totally against war. I don't like weapons. I don't like having weapons used to threaten anyone. And certainly I do not like fighting wars in order to solve problems between nations.
Which brings me to my next question. Prime Minister Lee used to be known as kind of the bridge between China and the West, but you were also very much observant and you dealt with China throughout the decades. I read some of your interviews last year whereby you were saying that maybe this is a different China. Are we seeing a different China from the China that we used to see in the 20th century? Is this a China that is much more assertive? Some would even say hegemonic. Is this something that we should be worried about? How should we deal with China?
The world has always been afraid of China because of the size, the population size. When China was poor, people were worried about China, were afraid of China. Now that China has become rich, they also become worried for other reasons. The thing is the enormous size of China with a population of 1.4 billion, which is bigger than the combined population of Europe and America. So when we come against a very powerful object, well, we of course need to find other ways of dealing with the problem rather than just open confrontation.